good evening. No, it's not afternoon, it's evening, huh? Good evening, everyone. How are you today? I'm dropping in right quick to do a little short video. Um, I had to get some air, you guys. I have been recuperating and just stuck up in that house, and I was going crazy, so I just came out to get a little bit of air. Had to get a little something from the store, but I'm okay. I'm okay. How are you? How are you? So I just wanted to stop by and talk about, how do you know? How do you know? And that's in regards to how do you know when someone has come into your life and they are the right one for you? How do you know that they are the right one? And how do you know um how do you know if they're the right one, right timing, and that you need to, do something to solidify that? Or how do you know when it's time to just get rid of something that's just been in the way and blocking all your situations, okay? How do you know it's time? Now, every situation is uniquely different, and we can agree with that. No two people's situation is the same. And I hope I'll be okay, you guys. I found myself trying to eat some ice cream, and I don't know if that was good or not. It was smooth, it was cool when it went down, but kind of, I'm feeling some kind of way right now. But anyway, how do you know that they are either for you or something that you need to get rid of? And, based on your own unique situation, you have to ask yourself a few things. Is this person the right person for me? The one you're dealing with that you shouldn't be, or the one that's trying to get in and want to be? Are they the right person for me? And I was talking to a friend the other day about making sure that you don't rush into things. There's a lot of people who, or some people, I'm not going to say a lot, but there's some people who are just into rushing into things because A, they don't want to be alone, and B, they want a relationship so bad that they'll take it any kind of way. And some want to be married because they feel like their clock is ticking. They have not been married yet and they want to be married. So they're just settling, they're choosing, they're trying to, you know, body rush somebody, bum rush them. They trying to lock them down. They don't even know if that's for them. They just, it's the opposite sex. Everything works on them. They seem dependable. They seem reliable. They seem, like something that'll make a good little twist. So they end up jumping on the wagon and wanting to put them in a headlock. And they have no idea if that's the right timing or the right person. So they go ahead and they start to rush, and it's about taking your time. It's about letting things marinate. It's about trying to find that right fit, that right one. It's about identifying, what level you guys are on with each other. Or is one way up here and the other is down here? Are you going in the same direction? Do you have a spiritual connection, a mental connection? Do you have a physical connection? Do you have emotional connection? All these things have to be assessed. So, therefore, why rush? Take your time. You don't know how that person acts or reacts when they are emotionally broken, when they're sad, when they're tried and tested, when money is funny, when they don't have no money, when somebody has been hurt, harmed, or killed that's close to them, the stressors of the job. What if they lose their job? What kind of temperament do they have? What kind of temperament do they have when they go through anything? Some folks just blow up with any little stressor, you know. So you have got to not be in a place where you are quick to rush into things. So, again, how do you know that one is for you, and how do you know when it's time to get rid of somebody? Well, let's start with the get rid of somebody. If you have a situation that is not working for you, you're always stressed out, it's always fighting and bickering and disrespect. There's no togetherness in anything. You just don't seem to be on the same page with anything. You just don't seem to agree with anything. The physical bonding has really, really decreased. And when you do get to going into that, it's like it's more of a chore than just something that you want to do to please one another. It's more of a chore. Let me just do this to shut this person up and give them some clap because they on my mind. They getting on my nerves. And let me just go on and do this. Okay? So you end up going on and doing it as a chore. So, communication has ceased. You don't do things together. You don't appreciate or be attentive, I would say, not to appreciate. You don't be attentive to what's going on with the other person in regards to their day, what's going on in their minds. You're not in tune with them like that. When you're in tune with somebody, sometimes you can just see that look on their face that something is wrong. Sometimes you can just, you can be on the phone with them and you can hear in their voice that something's wrong. You can get a text or an email or something from them, and the way that their words is presented, you can tell that something's wrong. That's when you're really, really in tune with one another. You can feel these things. But when there's a disconnect, you just don't even have a clue. That person can be sitting right next to you and they could be welled up with getting ready to cry because they're so puffed up with things that they're dealing with, and you're up there talking about something that's just way out there, and you don't even have a clue that they're battling with anything, and it's all over their face. So if you're in something where you have those situations happening and you're just in it to be existing in the moment for whatever reason, then you have to reassess that. Because true love and real love is compromising, coming together, working together. You're not going to always agree, but you have to learn how to disagree agreeably. You have to learn how to do that. And sometimes it takes laying down that pride. Sometimes it takes sacrificing something that's really important to you just to make sure that this other person gets their needs fulfilled in that time for whatever reason. Sometimes it's both of you compromising, sacrificing, at the same time, because you're both got a common goal. You're going in the same direction. and you have got to work together with making it happen. So you may have to give up something, they may have to give up something. True love is wanting to please and connect with that person unconditionally. It's wanting to make sure that the whole is solid, because you two are giving 100+% coming together, making sure that this thing works. Not somebody giving 49% and another person giving whatever the difference is, y'all, 50 something percent. It's not about that. It's about you both coming together in a way that's going to cause a positive, solid balance for your journey together, coming together as one, being a helpmate for one another. There's certain things you just shouldn't have to ask for. It's automatically done. You just know that it needs to be done. You know that this person you love needs help with XYZ, and you want to be the one to help them with it. You just know. So that's how you know when it's a solid fit, that love is there, that love is there to sprout and grow. But when you don't have a lot of this, when the disconnect is so extreme, is all the way to the left, it, man, you wasting your time. You wasting your time and you blocking your blessings. And your blessings can be right before you. Soon as you step to the left, boom, bam, it slaps you upside your head. Once you unpack that load that you have that is weighing you down in a rut. You don't have to settle for something just because you want something. What you have to do is you have to work on yourself, get yourself together in a way that will attract something that's great for you. And then you need to first off pray on God sending you that right situation and that right person at the right time. Because we all have been there where sometimes things happen, but it's not the right time. It's like you get a little teaser presentation of, wow, that would have been great if it had been 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, or a year ago. But now I'm caught up in this. You know, I think we all have had situations where um, things have been presented at the wrong time. And for whatever reason, I don't know if that was a presentation of a sneak preview of things to come, or if that was something that was sprinkled at you because you was, supposed to be maybe leaving who you with. I mean, I don't know why it happens that way, but sometimes it's presented at the wrong time. So you have to let that slide on by. However, when you work on yourself and you get yourself together and you get your own presentation and your own house clean, then you become, man, it's like a magnet to everything else that you should be drawn to. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to be of a better caliber. But when you are in desperation mode and you are in a way just needing to clutch on to somebody or something just because you want a man or just because you want a woman, stop that. Sometimes you need to put the brakes on and just sit down somewhere for a minute and get yourself right. You hear some that'll say, oh man, why I'm still single? Why I'm still lonely? All my friends they got somebody, or they getting married, or they got married, and here I am just woe is me. Or perhaps I've been in a few relationships, one right after another, and it seems like it's just the same old hoo ha ha one after another. And you know, sometimes, you know, yeah, all the time, your blessings, your right blessings, is not presented to you until God feels and knows that you're ready to receive that. You see what I'm saying? We can go from one person to the next and from the next to the next just because we want to be with somebody. And you're most likely choosing the same type of jerko that you just left. You ever did that or know somebody who has? They get out of something, they was with this old El Jerko, and then all of a sudden, here they are attracted to somebody else that has so many qualities just like that person, and they in the same situation all over again. And then they want to sit up and ask themselves, why? Why me? Why am I getting the same old? Because you're not identifying, working on the issues with you. And you're attracting and wanting the same type of person that was garbage that you had. You're getting another piece of garbage because you don't want to be alone to get you together. And that's the bottom line. Because it takes two. And when you are picking the same type of man or the same type of woman over and over and over again, you got to look at yourself. Because they not just standing in a line waving the same flag and you just picking them just because. You have an issue dealing inside of you that you're dealing with that you have to identify of why you're picking the same. Excuse me, you always get a call in front of the videos, boy, I tell you. Satan, you a liar. Of why you are picking and choosing the same kind over and over and over and over, and over again. I think a lot of us can identify with that, you know, and that goes to show you that you need to slow down and sit down sometime. You will know. You will know when it's the right one for you. Give yourself time to get you right. Pray on the situation and just be cool and be still and wait. Just because you have a friend or two that you go out with sometimes, you don't have to be on relationship level with a friend. You don't have to be sleeping with a friend. You don't have to do romantic things with a friend. Because once you start doing that and crossing the lines of that friendship, which you know you're looking for a relationship, and you start crossing the lines with that friendship, it confuses things. Sometimes you can end up losing a very, very good friend because you stirred some stuff in there that you shouldn't have. Y'all was on a very good brotherly, sisterly friendship level, and then you got to drinking and whatever and lusting for one another for that night, and then what? You woke up the next morning, and what did we do? And different emotions set in, and before you know it, you have ruined a very good friendship. So don't mix the two. If you have a very good friend of the opposite sex, which some do, keep it on that level. Whether you're lightweight attracted to them or not, they're just your friend. And if it was something more that was supposed to be with that, it would have occurred. So you guys need to just keep it on the level that it is. That's it. And then they want to call back. Now see, I'll tell you. They messed up my train of thought, but I'll get it back. So you have got to keep things on that friendship level. And if you're looking for something of substance, if you want something more, you keep the friends on that level and you don't go any further with that. You also start with your praying and with your self-improvement of you, and then waiting for that right one for you to come along for you. What's right for Sally may not be right for you. What's right for John may not be right for you. You have to self identify your needs, wants, and desires, and you have to be ready and in a position and a space and a place to want to give as well. Not just selfishly being at a place of I'm gonna get, I'm gonna take, I need, and you're not willing to give of that what needs to be for a relationship to flourish. And if you are in something that excuse me, if you are in something that is lacking a lot of the qualities that I had mentioned, the togetherness, the emotional connection, the communication, the quality time, the respect, the loyalty, and all those things. If it's missing those things that you need and more, then that's not for you. They are not for you. And if these are the things that you need and you want, you don't want to jump into a marriage with someone like that. You do not want to jump into a relationship with someone like that because you're not going to be satisfied emotionally, spiritually, and physically with someone who's missing all the pieces of the puzzle before you say, I do. Things don't change when you get married, they get worse. For real. They get big time worse. So some may think, oh well, when we get married, then things are gonna change. We gonna fall in love, and it's gonna fit, and it's gonna be right, and it's gonna be the another divorce court sooner or later. Things don't just miraculously get fixed when you get married. That was extremely broken before. If they didn't communicate well with you before you got married, why do you think they're going to start communicating? Because you said, as a matter of fact, they're going to get more and more comfortable because they feel like they got you. They got the prize, so they ain't got to work as hard. So they're going to be like, well, I really ain't talking now. Whoop. Zip it. The communication wasn't there, it ain't going to get there. The physical connection, if you guys didn't have that, it ain't going to just happen because you got married. Trust me. It ain't gonna just happen. The compliments and things you love, they didn't compliment you before. Why they gonna start complimenting you after you get married? They're not gonna start doing that. Respecting you, they called you all kinds of names and cussed you out when you was dating. Why you think they gonna change when you get married? Shit, it's gonna be a lot worse. You gonna be a whole bunch of baboons. So you have got to understand that you can't fix and make something work in a different way after marriage that wasn't working before marriage. So that's why I say you have got to find that right one for you. Make a list if you need to. Like some people they call it the bucket list. The things that they want to do in life before they get up out of here, hopefully. And they just make a list of, I want to travel here. I want to, write this book. I want to, do this, have so many songs that I put out. Whatever your bucket list of things may add up to. They make a list. So you make a list of the things, the qualities that you're looking for in a lifetime mate, starting with friendship, relationship, and then marriage. Because some friendships, like I say, you have to just kind of leave it there. Leave it there. And then when you have set your sights on something that you feel has been presented to you and have the same qualities and mindset as you, going in the same direction, you have to build a solid friendship with one another, then build a relationship with one another, and then you go on to engage and then marriage. That's it, and that's all. But you both got to be on the same page. You both got to be walking the same talk. Don't shortchange yourself. When you have identified the red flags in something that you already are in, that's not for you, that's not walking your walk, that's not talking your talk, that's not going in your same direction, then you have to start making plans to back away from that. You cannot change anyone. A grown person cannot be changed. They make changes with themselves when they want to make changes with themselves, when they are ready to make changes within themselves. That's when it happens. It don't happen when you trying to play mama or daddy to force it, to make it happen. And if they do it, it's for a minute, and then boom, they gonna go back to what they was doing. Cause why? Cause they don't want to change. They don't want to change, and you're not gonna make them. Okay? So A, you can't change anyone. B, you have to look for things in a person that complements your desires and needs, and definitely pray on it. And you have to work on yourself. Make sure that you're working on things in yourself that you know and have identified as needing improvement. We all have something we need to improve on, whether our temper is too hot, whether our communication is not good, whether we're kind of selfish in our own ways with things, because some have been alone for so long and not in relationships that they do become more self-centered. Everything becomes about them because they've only had to worry about them. Their children are grown. They've been single for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they get up and go when they want. They do what they want. They don't have to answer to nobody. They buy things they want, all that. So they have to relearn how to, make sure that this new person that's special to them is not being selfishly treated. And sometimes that takes work. It takes work, takes time. It's not something that just happens overnight. But if you really love somebody and they're worth it to you, you're going to work on self-identifying and get those things in order. Okay? So you got to do that. And you have got to love yourself. Love yourself to the degree that is extremely high, that nobody can pierce and break through that and break you down in any kind of way. When you love yourself, you will not even allow certain things to be done to you. You would not allow certain things to be said to you. You would not allow yourself to be treated in such a way by anyone when you love yourself. So if you're struggling with loving yourself, get in tune with that. There is people you can go talk to. There is workshops, there's classes, there's stuff you can take so that you can start getting into self. And that's what you need to do if you have identified that you are allowing yourself to be treated less than you deserve. So on that note, you guys, I got to go. I just wanted to sprinkle you with some sunshine today. This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Join me on YouTube regularly for live talks such as this, Grown Folk Style. Sundays, 7:30 p.m. we do a Grown Folk Table Talk, which is so delightfully fun. Go to my YouTube page, click on the link, view the last show, and please like, share, and subscribe. I am overwhelmed with the people who are loving the videos, who come back and have positive feedback, and who come back and look for more. And if you want to reach out to me, my email is dgrier12,000@yahoo.com. I will be having a website coming up soon, so I'll be able to give you guys that as well. So on that note, I got to go. Ice cream did me good. I didn't get the bubblies, so that's a good sign. All right, you guys. See you tomorrow.